everybody. This is we're moving these days around quite a bit on this Truckcast podcast. So first of all, thank you all for tuning in again. We are trying to move this thing to Mondays after our sales, so you guys get a little bit of a sneak peek of what's going on in our um, on the auction block to start the week. So because at the end of the day, we are the first ones, mostly on the Canadian side, that run on Mondays. So we're leading you guys all off, kind of give you a first snippet into the marketplace. Um, so let's jump right into it because I'm currently sitting in one of those little private boxes in Delta Lounge at the Salt Lake City International Airport. I'm sitting here because I went down and repped the lane myself today. So I'm yelling at the auctioneer to sell it, you know, telling them to drop the prices, trying to create that energy in the lane that we're aiming to bring, every single week when we're running these Canadian units. So I did that for the first time, and overall, I mean, it went well. I'll get it out in the open. We sold 100% of everything again, so we're extremely happy with the recent chain of events. But I know you guys are more interested about kind of how should I say, the nitty gritty of things. So let me get into a little bit of the specifics. Boom, boom. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to put a little bit of a report together so you guys have something you know, to kind of reference for your guys' sale in this upcoming week. So Fords this week. Let's see. Fords. We had the L13. Oh. Yeah, so Fords did almost 95% of MMR this week. We saw a nice bump on the 350s. The 350s were doing actually really well this week. Very, very impressed. The F-150 XLT base models, I don't know what it is, can't give them away, but I mean, you literally have to give them away in order for them to get out of the lane. So if any of you guys are out there that are expecting any sort of good money on those XLT, 300A packages, forget about it. We all know it doesn't come, but sometimes in the markets, there's a little bit of a higher demand. People pay a little more. Well, that time is not right now. So whatever your first offer is, take it, sell it. The XLT Sports that we sold still did pretty well, but we saw a little bit of a drop this week. We usually sell those things at about 100 to 102% of MMR, and this week we saw them at about 98%. So if you guys have those F-150 XLTs, you know, that's what we're seeing in the market so far with those. Chevy product, let's see, what do we have for an average of Chevy products? We had an average of 93.5% of MMR. So what that means, guys, is that I chatted with another seller today after the sale. A friend of mine out east, he purchased one of the units in our lanes, but he said that he never gets good money for the Chevy products if he's running a bunch of GMC stuff, no matter what the trim, just because, you know, why have a Chevy when you can get a GMC? So you guys tell me your thoughts on that. I know sometimes we have luck with the Chevrolet products, but today it just was not their day, and we had a decent unit. Um, we had a Chevy Suburban Z71, and that one still only brought like just under 97% of MMR. So, um, and when I talk about this, guys, I know there are a lot of dealers out there that listen to this, but when I'm referencing MMR, it's because, a lot of the guys that are buying the vehicles, they have to reference the MMR in order to make their buying decisions. So that's why I keep referencing that. Let's see what we have for GMC. GMC had the strongest week, 97% of MMR. We had a really good week for GMC product. Now last week, you guys might have heard me say that the GMC stuff was weak. Well, this week, I mean, it was super strong. And as you know, I mean, we run a lot of the base model stuff, but we had a lot of the 1500, SLE product. Just the base model. SLEs. We had a couple blue ones, a black one in there, so but nothing out of the ordinary. And they did really well. They saved our hide, I think, honestly, this week. We saw a lot more half-ton GM products this week than we've ever seen. And that saved us a lot because we only ran, let me see, out of our 55 vehicles, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine of them. I mean, that's still a pretty significant amount when you lay it all out on paper, but we usually have more. We usually run probably 15 GM products, and 14 of them are heavy duty units. So better numbers there. So look forward to that this week. Last week, you know, thought we saw a drop in the market, thought the kind of the plateau was coming, but we went uphill a little bit more this week. Another thing that I keep, forgetting to reference, and tell me, guys, if this is something you guys would be interested in listening to, but or having in front of you is almost like a dealership calendar of like the weeks, the days, the holidays in which, there's going to be more difficult sales. It's going to be harder to buy. It's just going to be a little bit of a darker or a difficult time for those couple days, whatever it is. So that is something that I've been mulling around because I was talking with, same seller today telling me about the Chevy product that he mentioned that last week everybody was on spring break, and it dawned on me that I knew a ton of guys that were buying weren't at the sale last week. There were just a bunch of guys in general. So uh, don't be too discouraged by last week's results. This week's, we saw, I mean, a huge increase. We saw almost a 2% increase in our overall percent of MMR. So, um, that's all good. We had one, two, three, four true premium units. Sorry, not four, seven, including the XLT Sports. So out of the 55 units, we only had seven premium units. So for you guys that have been following this for the past, month or so, you know that we've been running at about 30% or more of our inventory that we run is premium stuff. Now this week, I mean, it was barely over, you know, 11%, barely over 11%. So with that said, things are looking up. If we're doing this well on base model work trucks, you guys, I mean, don't go into the lane and start expecting people to start bidding on the vehicles right at the number that you need. We needed to drop a lot of these prices down back, way back for these guys in order to get them to start bidding up. These guys are a little scared right now. It's a turbulent time in the auto industry, and these guys are just trying to make sure that they're making the best buying decisions for their dealership. So we start them way back, and then the minute you start them way back, those bidding wars start, right? These guys come up, and they come up to honestly, where market's at, which is exactly where you need to sell your vehicle at, is at the market. So that was all, you know, that was all good and fine. Um, we saw some new guys today. We saw a lot more guys from out east. We saw a lot more guys from out east. So, you know, we're going to be bringing the sale to the East Coast very, very soon. We're aiming towards the end of the month, but we're in that mode where we're trying to make sure that we're procuring the right amount of inventory. So we have, close to 2 months worth of vehicles to run, so we can supply you guys with, you know, or supply the dealerships with the inventory that they need. So if you guys are out there, you have 5, 10 units, maybe you want to run, give me a call. As always, my phone number is 651-357-8966. Give me a call. I mean, all we need, like I said, 5 units here, 10 units there. That's all. You know, that's all we need. Couple guys do that, and boom, we have a whole lane going, and we're getting you guys, great run numbers. It's not going to be immediately off the bat. We're not going to show up in Cincinnati and be, the biggest guys on the playground. We need to sit around there for about 2 months before we start seeing those serious numbers. Okay. But on top of that, when you guys bring down that inventory and you see that consistent inventory of what's coming, what the sellers are like, that's when the guys are going to start coming back. Okay. Now, this lane we started running a lot of premium or a lot of work truck stuff, and then we had to slowly incorporate the premium stuff to build up this buyer base because they saw, we mostly run the white work trucks. Well, we had to kind of wean them off that a little bit, put them into you know, get them the inventory that they need, and get them into those similar buying habits with the work truck stuff. Bidding low and working all the way up. So with that said, we're coming to Cincinnati soon. We're looking for vehicles. Let me know, guys, if you guys have anything that you want to run out there. We'd be more than happy to run it in our 95% guarantee sale. If you're still in question as to what that is, give me a call. Again, 651 357 8966. Now, jumping down to the registered import side, I have nothing today as far as updates from Invita or the NHTSA, but tomorrow I'm going to be jumping on that meeting with Invita and NHTSA. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to put that out tomorrow. This is going to be an odd week where we're putting out two podcasts, but you know, what do? You guys need this report as soon as possible, and then the Invita report. I think that's going to be important, and to kind of separate the two will help you guys. So, yeah, um, people looking towards next week, we're anticipated to have over 75 vehicles next week. We might even be inching closer towards that 90 mark. We're pushing hard to get towards that 90 mark. So, yeah, things are good. We're in brighter days. We're on right now, it's sunny slopes. We're rock stars right now because we got in the market when the market's right. The hard days are going to be coming eventually, but we're fully confident in that. If we have the right buyers in place, then that will overcome those down seasons, as far as the amount of hurt that will incur. So, anyways, everybody, I hope you all have a wonderful Monday night. Um, Yeah. If you have any questions about the sale, please text me. I talked to probably three or four guys immediately after the sale, and just chat with them about, what happened. So give me a call anytime. That's what I do. I talk to you guys. So, again, my name is Caleb Morris. This is Truckcast podcast, and thank you guys for listening.